you were saying backstage that,
Yeah.
Mark, you do a very good English accent.
He's a master mimic. He just did a lovely, fantastic version of a high-pitched Cockney woman. Premiere. Oh, my gosh. It was 15 minutes of material. It was fantastic.
He does impressions of John Lithgow.
Impressions of all of us.
He does impressions of everybody.
Yeah.
What are you?
He's kind of a closeted person.
I haven't seen your impression of me.
Dusty? Brad! Dusty, give him the stick, Brad.
Very good. Well done. But the casting does seem perfect. The four of you as a kind of, you know, father, son, father, son.
We think so.
Sure. I assumed the dysfunctional purveyor of tough love.
Whereas I am just sloppy, sentimental, brimming over with emotion.
And is that you?
Well, it's a sort of extreme version of me. I'm a little bit sentimental myself, you know.
But apparently you
am
can...
too.
But you're emotional?
I am too.
That's what connects us. That's what
Yeah.
connects us.
You're always crying.
I can cry at insurance
I
ads.
found myself crying on a commercial airline flight watching The Parent Trap. And my wife looked over at me and was like, "What is going on?" And I'm like, because you know what's going to happen. They're all going to get back together, but I couldn't help it. Tears were just streaming down my face. Snot, everything. Yes.
John, apparently you made yourself cry on a plane.
I was watching Terms of Endearment for the first time in many years. A movie that I was in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sort of weird version of narcissism to just sob at your own performance.
I'm so damn good.
Great release, right?
You're breaking my heart.
Damn you, John Lithgow. You did it to me again.
But I mean, Terms of Endearment is...
Oh, that's so upsetting.
It's a completely sort of no-fault tearjerker. It never fails.
And Mark Wahlberg, I've heard you saying that as you get older, you are getting more emotional. You do more boo-hooing.
Yes.
Apparently even... No, there's more. Apparently even Disney's got to you now.
Do tell.
Didn't you cry watching a film with your kids? Or maybe you weren't watching it with your kids. Maybe you were just watching it. I don't know.
I get very sentimental. You know, the biggest ads that get me now, yes, Shrek makes me cry. All of those films make me cry.
Well, that's because I'm in it.
I didn't realize that until the other day.
I was Lord Farquaad.
I love
a very,
Lord Farquaad.
very, very moving performance.
Let's
just leave it at that.
Robin and Elijah, we've separated you in a sort of Jennifer sandwich because we were worried they might be slightly sick of the sight of each other.
I was just thinking
because you have been together for some time now.
We've been doing the voices for Happy Feet. Like we record all together in the same room, which is kind of wonderful.
But that's really unusual, isn't it, to all be together?
Yeah, I guess, because I mean I forgot that when I did Aladdin, I was alone in the room, and then the first day, I said, "Do you mind if I try something?" And they went, "Oh, sure, fine." And then 23 hours later, they have 40 different characters. But it was like...
Wow.
But it was this weird thing of most of the time you're alone and you're recording, and usually the director's someplace else, either New York or Australia, and it's like bad phone sex with NASA. We get it. But when you're together in the same room, it's a blast because you get to play off each other, which is wonderful.
Because you did Shrek 2?
Shrek 2.
Well, did you get to meet anybody? No.
Nobody.
No.
Not until the junket.
And they wouldn't even let you do a voice, would they? They just...
Well, I tried a few.
Oh.
But this is sort of what it ends up as.
And Elijah, apparently you noticed that Robin got quite warm in Australia while
it's
working.
Crazy. I mean, you're just doing a voice, but because you're working together, I was sweating more than Marlon Brando after a Mexican meal. It's just you get really worked up because you are full contact doing the voice, playing off each other. And plus, we had all these great comedians, all these, the Los Amigos Penguinos. They're all like Carlos Alazraqui, Johnny Sanchez, Lombardo Boyar. They're all these Latin comics who are great. Yeah. And you play off each other and you riff and you start to build a rhythm, which is great.
But is it true you sort of nearly passed out when you were doing Lovelace?
Yeah, I was just kind of kidding. Because Lovelace is, you know, part preacher, part pimp. I started doing this kind of... George is always there to go, no, don't be afraid, Robin, go, do it. All of a sudden I realized, oh, no, I'm going to pass out. He'll have a great time. But he lets you go, and you start riffing, and he would do stuff. He'd just play, and then George would go, no, that's great, do it.
But do you worry about that? Because, I mean, you had a heart operation.
Yeah, I had heart surgery. I have a cow valve, which is great because I can crap standing up now. But the surgery, once you have the surgery, you have to take it slow. It's weird. I can't eat meat because you're one of them. Yeah, it's like, no, have a cow? No, you're part cow, bastard.
Do you have to pace yourself? I mean, not to be indiscreet, but on the honeymoon, do you have to kind of think about
and
it?
Viagra is not your friend. No. After heart surgery, are you coming? No, I'm dying! No, you have to be very... Yeah, you do have to pace yourself.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, pace yourself. Yeah. Pace yourself. Are you ready, my dear? A bit of foreplay. That's enough. Let's go. Are we ready? Shall we? Yes, let's go down there. How are we doing? Better? Good luck using any of that.
Now, the big thing, everyone's been talking to you about it, Rupert, and I will join that band. Shrek the Third.
Oh, yes.
You're Prince Charming again.
Yes, I am.
Have you seen it?
Yes, it's fantastic. It came out last weekend in America, and it comes out here in a couple of weeks' time. And it's fantastic, yeah. It's
and is it as funny as 2?
I think it's really, really funny. It's lovely, Shrek 3. Some of it's kind of more serious in a way. It's about an insurgency in the kingdom, and it's about terrorism and things like that in a way. But it's really funny. It's very charming. It's great.
All right, because I thought 2 was better than 1. Is that?
And I think 3 is better than 2.
Ah, they're up in the ante.
Oh yes.
And is that the only animated thing you've done?
Well, no, I have done a couple of... I did one other thing, but Shrek is a fantastic job because you don't have to... it takes about 10 mornings a year, over a 5-year period, and you can do it any way you want in the world, and you know, they're quite generous as well, so it's a fantastic job.
I hear you. Do you see it, or do you just go in and read some stuff?
No, they do the vocal track first, and then they animate to the vocal track.
Because you've done loads of them. You've done, what, you were in Babe, you were the mother in Babe, the dog mother.
I was in Happy Feet.
Who were you in Happy Feet?
I can't remember. Was I Tamara?
Did you play a penguin?
I don't know. I never saw it, you see. I don't know what it was.
Everyone was a penguin.
Everybody was a penguin.
You didn't do much research for your character.
No, I didn't.
You forgot to sound cold.
Yeah. I wish you'd told me that when I was...
You thought all that flapping was psychological.
Yeah. And I did Flushed Away.
Oh, yes. Who were you in Flushed Away?
I don't know what I was in that.
Oh, it was great, Flushed Away, though.
A piece of shit, I should think.
Now, I don't want to turn everyone against the lovely Cameron Diaz. Is it true you don't really like dogs?
No, it's not that I don't like dogs.
She doesn't like dogs. She doesn't like dogs.
I actually just... I've had a preference for cats mostly through my life.
Why?
I know, but I do like dogs. In fact, I have very special dogs in my life. I love cats. I like their independence, and you know, they're
I like
really...
the psychology of a cat a little bit better. They're not like, hi, do you like me?
Exactly.
Do you like me? Do you like me? Will you play with this? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I like cats that are like, I'll be right over here if you want me.
Totally. I agree. I like their styles so much better.
Because obviously, David, you love all animals, but there is one animal you're not a fan of.
Don't care for rats.
I see. But
really?
Do you like rats?
I raised rats for my snake, so I had a lot of time.
So you don't like rats?
No, but it was fun to dangle them in front of my snake.
How could you?
The snake would just come up like that and it'd wrap around it, and it'd go... would bulge out of its head and be like, oh, you poor little sucker.
Well, I have been sitting on the lavatory in India and I've had a rat come up in between my legs.
Oh, that's terrible. That's not fun. I have the same thing with the centipede in Nepal. I was over, like, you know, the hole in the ground in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden I looked down and there was this centipede this long just coming out of the toilet itself. It was terrifying.
Antonio, you've always been a sex symbol, but now you're a cat who's a sex symbol.
Yeah.
Which must be odd for you that people...
It's odd because I got to America without even speaking the language when I was already 31 years old. And so the fact that they called me just for the use of my voice, and this became probably the most successful character that I have ever done in my life, it's just weird. It's just a paradox in my life, really.
And do people just come up to you, just poke you and say, do the voice, do the voice, do the voice?
They do.
Could you...
They do a lot.
Could you do the voice?
Oh, I am doing the voice, boy.
Oh, it's Puss in Boots.
Fear me if you dare.
Puss in Boots, the original character. I mean, he didn't have to be a swashbuckler. Was he made a swashbuckler because of Zorro?
Yes, they take references from things that I have done before, definitely. And they build those characters around you. So, but when I got to the Shrek series, I thought it was going to be a recurring character. I never thought it was going to be that big. In fact, I think we make a choice at the beginning that actually determined the personality of the character. And is that we just decided to put a voice on a very little character that actually goes against that body. It just doesn't match him. And there is the creation of comedy.
And also what's really funny is that they keep them cats. You know, they humanize them to a degree, but like they're chasing the thing.
Oh, yeah, and eventually they become cats in the movie. You know, they can be as humanized as you want, but eventually they do cat things,
yes.
You know.
There is some dodgy licking, you'll be pleased to know. But that film, Mary Poppins, is so sweet and lovely, and yet it was it was dangerous to make.
Yes.
Which sounds ridiculous, then.
Well, yes, I mean, there were a lot of stunts, a lot of flying stunts, which they saved mostly toward the end of the film, because by that time most of the film was in the can, and presumably if an accident happened it was safe, you know. Yeah, it's true though, they saved everything until the last 2 or 3 days, the really, you know, all the high-flying stuff. And I was hanging around much higher than this studio, I can tell you, on wires in an excruciating harness. And it was my last day, and there were wires going along the back of the studio down to balancing equipment and sandbags and things. But I felt myself, while I was hanging around up there waiting for the shot to be set up, I felt myself drop by about a foot, maybe 6 inches, and I thought, oh my God, my luck is running out, this is it. So I called down to the floor manager and I said, excuse me, I just felt the wire give just a little bit, and when I come down, could you just be sure that you really let me down easy? And I heard the word go back along the length of the studio, Joe, when she comes down, let her down easy, Joe, let her down really easy. At which point I dropped like a ton of bricks to the stage. And there was this awed silence, and I let fly with a few Anglo-Saxon four-letter words Disney had certainly never heard before. And then Joe's voice from way at the back of the studio yelled, is she down yet? I never saw him again, poor fellow.
But actually, no, here's the thing, though, Teddy. You don't know much about cricket, but you do know about John Cleese.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
What do you know about me?
I know about the Bond movies. I'm a huge Bond fan.
They're not very good, are they?
What are you talking about?
Sorry,
Don't even do that. Don't be a self-hater.
I'm not hating myself, I'm hating the Bond movies, because I can't follow the plots of the Bond movies.
I can follow the plots. I can follow Bond movies.
You can?
Cricket, not
You're
as
the only
much.
person I've ever met who could follow the plot in one of the last Bond movies. And the titles. Don't ever do it tomorrow, or... Kill him tonight. I mean, what a quantum of solace.
Well, that was a shocker. That was a shocker.
I always wanted to write a film called The Last Prawn. You know, I think you couldn't walk past a cinema. You'd have to go and see what it was about. Like a quantum of solace.
Well, Taylor, if you like, if John Cleese, all the Swifties can buy you this for Christmas, because John Cleese has written an autobiography.
Yes.
So, anyway,
yes.
easy to wrap.
Fantastic. That's a beautiful cover.
It's nice, isn't
I
it?
love the feathers.
With parrot feathers, you see.
I love those.
Oh, yes. Easy to wrap. Thank you very much.
I'm trying to sell it, John.
I didn't want that.
No, it's your book. Something to try.
Whose
one
book?
of the great
His
characters.
or mine?
Yours. Your book. We'll get back to
We'll come back.
we'll get back to KP's book.
Harry Potter.
Book? What?
Did you talk about Harry Potter?
Harry Potter?
Like being in the Harry Potter movie?
I hated being in that. It was the most bloody boring thing I've ever done in my life. This is all special effects. I'm not joking. It's just horrible. awful.
Just a little tear.
Yeah, he's just... You're just crushing on your girl's dreams.
But it didn't mean the film wasn't good. It just actually acting it was awful.
I'm sorry that I brought it up. I really didn't.
Well, don't do it again.
Justin Timberlake, I don't know, have you seen this picture?
I did.
So, I think it's from 1870. This is real, 1870.
Yeah.
Now, annoyingly, you've shaved off your facial fluff.
Right.
Here you are in 1870.
Okay. Yeah.
That was pretty good, right? Look, see?
Can we get like a 50-50? Can we get like a side by side?
Let's do it.
I can see if I can.
Oh, no. Oh my God.
What's this?
That hand, yeah.
So, there you go. So, wait.
No, other way.
This.
No, it's
This way?
No, other way. Yeah, go like
in
this.
the right direction, because I'm having like 50-50 dyslexia.
Stop moving.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it. Very good. Manning. Stephen Mangan, I would have thought your look is quite unique.
You would think that, wouldn't you?
You would.
I get told I look like everyone's mate. Anyone with curly hair and teeth. Put a horse in a wig and it's me. I get told I look like Elliot Gould, Jerry Seinfeld, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Mika.
Oh, my God.
The donkey from Shrek.
You know, I have to say, though, we have a picture of Donkey of Shrek, and you do look remarkably like... It is...
I think the most lovable character.
Separated at birth.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, because I kind of thought, oh, someone's exaggerating. Then we looked at the picture and was like, actually...
It actually does, yeah. Someone said to me, you don't sound like him. I said, well, that's because it's Eddie Murphy. Of course I don't sound like him.
Oh, dear. Quickly touch on this. You getting this part is one of those kind of Hollywood fairy tale things.
Oh, my God.
So, take us back. I think you're 16, you're in high school.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened?
Literally, though? Like, I'm sitting here right now and I'm like, what happened? No, yeah, 16 years old. I got sent a tweet from Cindy Tolan, our incredible casting director. She was looking for 4 people. She was looking for Maria, Anita, Bernardo, and Tony. And she was looking for Latinas aged 15 to 25. And I was like, that's me. But my friend McKenna sent it to me and said, thank me when you're famous. And I laughed my ass off at that. But then I thought, I had just played the role on stage, maybe,
Yeah.
you know? I was one out of 30,000 people who auditioned for it, and I auditioned for a year.
You auditioned for a year?
It was 9 calls.
No job's worth that, honey, all right?
No job's worth it, this one was.
Yeah.
And it was 9 times, and I don't think I met Steven until 6 months into the process, and then I had 6 months more to go. It was screen test and chemistry test and more, and then there was like a period of time of silence where I was like, well, I didn't get that shit. And started moving on to other things, and then they called me kind of late December of 2018, and they said, we want you to come in one last time. And when I got it, I screamed, holy shit, really loud. And then I just started crying, saying, this has been the longest year of my life. Oh. And I, to this day, I mean, 1 out of 30,000, you say, what are the odds? And you're like, 1 out of 30,000.
And I love that when you get the part, you then ask Steven Spielberg if it's okay to do something.
I asked Steven Spielberg if I could still do my senior year musical, which was Shrek the Musical. You laugh. It's
Princess
fantastic.
Princess
Fiona over here. It's a fantastic musical. Janine Tesori, who actually worked on West Side Story with us, composed the music for Shrek. And I was like, Shilma. But Steven looked at me and he was like, I produced the original Shrek. Of course you could do Shrek. I was like, and I ended up doing it, getting painted green. I looked like I had jaundice for like 3 weeks after I did the show.
Yeah, I think we've got a picture of you as Princess Fiona. There you are.
That same girl went on to sing I Feel Pretty with her whole chest on a movie screen. Yeah.
Saoirse Ronan, you won a really good prize.
Yeah.
What did you win?
I won a trip to Florida when I was a kid.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like,
no, that's good. Tell us how you won it.
I won it when I was a kid, and I had never entered into a competition like that before. And it was the first day of the summer holidays when I was like 9 or 10 or something. And Jerry Ryan, who you know, was this very well-known Irish DJ at home. He's passed away now, but he was really incredible. And his show was like the top show in the country. And Shrek 2 had just come out. That's how long ago it was. And he was giving away this holiday to Florida. And what you had to do was you had to phone in as one of the characters in Shrek 2 and tell Jerry why you deserved the holiday. And I hadn't started properly acting yet at that stage or anything. But Dad was an actor, so I was around sort of like, you know, improvisers and things like that. And Mum was like, you should go in for it, just why not? We had never been on like a proper holiday. I was like, oh God, okay. So we got a little notepad, like tiny little notepad, and we wrote down like a tiny little script of what I was gonna say, just this short little script. And I got on, and I think I was one of the first kids on, and I did it as the gingerbread man. And so then 5 days later, he phoned up and told me that we had won.
Well, you were on the Late Late back in Ireland a couple of weeks ago, and they found this clip. So this is 2 little clips put together. It's your gingerbread man, followed by, which I really like, your reaction to winning.
Yeah.
So here's
very squeaky voice.
Here we go.
Now, Saoirse is 10 years of age.
Yeah.
Now, which character have you chosen?
I'm going to do the gingerbread man.
Off you go, Saoirse.
Hiya, Jerry. The reason why I need a holiday is because I've never had a holiday before.
You're the only little girl in the house, are you?
Yeah.
Well, I've got news for you.
Yeah?
You're going to Florida.
When you win an Oscar, I want you to react like that.
I also got a blow-up donkey halfway through the week, so that's what I was like, oh, I'm out of it then if they've sent me a blow-up donkey. I had this donkey that went up to it, and I brought him into school and everything. I was like, I haven't won the prize, but at least I got this.
Yes.
But yeah.
That is nearly it. Before we go, just time for a visit to the big red chair. Who do we have? Hello.
Hello.
Hi. What's your name?
Matthew.
Matthew. Okay, and where do you live, Matthew?
Canvey Island.
Oh, Canvey Island, lovely part of the world.
Thank you.
What do you do there?
I'm actually an actor at Shrek's Adventure.
At what?
Shrek's Adventure on the South Bank.
I didn't know that was on. Shrek's Adventure, everyone. He's in it. Off you go with your story.
So this was a few years ago while I was at... sorry, while I was at university.
He was choking.
Right after Shrek's Adventure.
He was choking.
Thumbs up who thought that was me. Yes, you see.
It is a mean concept, in fairness.